Hey, friends, can you tell where I am? That's right. You're in the amphitheater, where we come together to share stories and sing songs and celebrate. And I'm reminded of this when I see things like these maple buckets that you guys painted and we're making some really sweet music on. And if I close my eyes and I listen to the sounds of the birds and the creek, I can almost see you painting these buckets out on the porch of the studio, and I can almost hear you banging on them. And I really look forward to being together here again. But since we aren't together right now, we can still stay connected to share stories and to sing and to celebrate. And today, May 3rd, is the 101st birthday of an old friend of the Randolph School and of our whole Hudson Valley community and even our country and our entire world. His name was Pete Seeger, and if we were together tomorrow, we'd be gathering right here in the amphitheater to share stories, sing, and celebrate. And we're still going to be able to do that. Today, though, I wanted to tell you that Pete Seeger was once a kid just like you, who grew up to be a peacemaker, among many, many other things. And I have a book to share with you today, and this book is a biography. Biography is a type of book that's a true story written about a real person's life, and it includes true facts that really happened to them and things about how they impacted the world. Hopefully, this biography about Pete Seeger helps you learn a little bit more about who we're going to be celebrating before you tune in right here on Randolph Beyond to Pete Seeger Day, starting tomorrow. All right. So this book is called Listen, How Pete Seeger Got America Singing. Listen, there was nobody like Pete Seeger. Wherever he went, he got people singing. With his head thrown back and his Adam's apple bouncing, picking his long-necked banjo, strumming his 12-string guitar, Pete sang old songs with new words, and songs he made up. In front of crowds large and small, he'd raise his arm. Basses, here's your part, he'd say. Tenors, sopranos, altos, here's yours. Four-part harmony would rise to the rafters and drift to the stars. Participation, that's what's gonna save the human race. Listen. Pete participated his whole life. He led marches to end wars. He stood on peace lines in cold and snow, heat and rain. Down by the riverside, where have all the flowers gone? Those are some of his songs. He joined rallies to support the work of unions. Songs like Which Side Are You On, Joe Hill, and Union Maid. He sang ballads, blues, and love songs. The Water is Wide, Come All Ye Fair and Tender Ladies in Shenandoah. But that's not all. Pete loved singing with children, and children loved singing with Pete. Thousands sang with him. I'll Be Yo-Yo, Froggy Went A-Courting, and Skip to My Lou. In fact, some Randolph kids even were lucky enough to sing with Pete right here in the amphitheater. Pete and his good friend Woody Guthrie traveled the country making up songs. They sang with hobos, union organizers, and farmers, and they hopped freight trains and they kept singing. Songs like Hard Travelin' and This Land Is Your Land and Pastures of Plenty. Pete, Woody, and friends formed the Almanac Singers. And then Pete joined the Weavers, who became very famous indeed. They had a #1 hit with Good Night Irene, a song they learned from Leda. And hundreds of thousands sang with them. Senna, 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 When the Saints Go Marching In, and Wimoe. At just about that time, Pete got into trouble. What trouble? This trouble. The House Un-American Activities Committee of the United States Congress questioned whether Pete was a true American. Pete said, I love my country very deeply, and he offered to sing a song. And he stood by his First Amendment right, the right of free speech. Wasn't that a time in Guantanamera? He was indicted for contempt of Congress. For the next 4 years, work dried up, but he kept traveling, making records and singing everywhere he could. Songs like Turn, 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 Worried Man Blues, and finally, at his trial, his conviction was overturned. And during those years, so many people learned Pete's songs at summer camps, schools, and colleges, and taught those songs to others that they became a little more like Pete. And this was a good thing. Michael, Row the Boat Ashore, and the Midnight Special were songs that they sang. And Pete would say, I just tap out a beat, pick a few chords, and say, come on, you folks, know this old tune? Pretty soon the audience will be singing the song to me, he said. And they did. When friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? Listen, not everybody has such courage, but Pete did. When men and women joined hands to fight racism, Pete sang a powerful song with millions sang with him. We shall overcome. He gave people hope when they needed it. Some music can help you do something about your troubles, he said. Oh, freedom, and we shall not be moved, and this little light of mine. Pete and his wife Toshi built a log cabin overlooking the Hudson River in Beacon. That mighty river had been poisoned. Factories had dumped chemical waste in it for years, so once again, Pete went to work. People laughed. You can't do all that by yourself, they said, and he couldn't. But when he sailed the great sloop Clearwater, they all came to see it. And guess what? They left caring about that river, and then they went to work too. And it wasn't long before people could swim there. If anybody asks you where in the world is the most important place, tell them right where you are, Pete said. Naturally, he made up songs about it, like Sailing Down My Golden River, the river of my people. You see, Pete didn't care about fame or money. He cared about justice, peace, equality, and people everywhere. If I had a hammer, had I a golden thread, and last night I had the strangest dream, are songs about that. And whenever he was home, he chopped and split wood, and he tapped the maple trees for syrup, and built an ice skating rink in winter, and claimed he made the world's best strawberry shortcake. Songs like Kisses Sweeter Than Wine and Living in the Country remind us of those things. Kind of looks like you guys, right? Listen, Pete walked the talk. He didn't just say things, he did things. He sang even after he lost his voice, and everybody sang with him. After his concerts, people who didn't know each other wandered into the streets and cities and towns with their voices soaring. So long, it's been good to know you, is another song. Maybe they sang as they went home, and maybe they taught Pete songs to their friends, because there really was nobody like Pete Seeger. So listen and sing. Well, friends, I hope you learned a little bit about our old friend Pete, and tomorrow you're going to get a chance to learn a lot more. So keep an eye out for Pete Seeger Day coming to Randolph Beyond on YouTube tomorrow. Take care. See you soon, friends.